for myself, what I'm trying to achieve is reading 30 minutes every day. So the reading itself is not the habit. The habit is the preparation to get me into the reading. So the habit is, as soon as I wake up, I'm pressing play on my Spotify and listening to a song for 3 minutes, and then getting out of bed to brush my teeth, have a shower, and then I read my book. So everything leading up to me reading up to the book, to being in the most awake state, is the habit.
Is that going to be the intro every podcast now?
Yeah, it's the bursary one. What's good, my peoples? Welcome back to another Speak Your Source video. It's your boy Bongs, and that's my guy.
What's good, is Shay?
Yes, sir. Yeah, man, welcome back to another video. So if you guys don't know, what Speak Your Source, we talk about, what do we talk about, Shay? Sorry to put you in a spot.
We talk about everything that's on a young brother's mind and could be on a young sister's mind sometimes.
Yeah. Now and then, but mainly for the guys.
Mainly young brother's mind.
Yeah, this one's for the boys. So yeah, man. So if you haven't tuned in already, the current series we're talking about is making 2022 your best year yet. The last one we touched upon is making habits. The
last one was my goals for 2022.
Oh yeah, that's the most recent one. Your goals from 2022. Yeah. The one before, we were talking about habit setting, planning, and how to make kind of your yearly targets, I would say.
Yeah, we kind of just started the conversation of how to set what habits are, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, we initiated it.
Yeah. So now we want to really dive into a little bit more depth. So to kick us off, can you remind the people what is a habit? Just from the
a habit was it something that you do consistently without thought?
Yes, sir. Simple as. So yeah, give me an example. Give me a habit you have currently right now in your day-to-day life.
A habit I have is flipping hell. Damn, I don't know, man. Okay. A habit I have is listening to an hour of an audiobook every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very, very impressive. What book are you listening to now?
Right now I'm listening to Shoe Dog.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah, good book, right?
Yeah. It's an alright book. It's a story. It's just giving me the insight on how Nike came about. It's not what I expected it to be, but it's cool. It's cool seeing that it's not exactly the biggest. It's not like every other entrepreneur story where it's like they had that goal from the jump and then they were just working through all the setbacks and everything, and in the end they reached their dream. Mm-hmm. It's like he didn't set out on his journey to start Nike in the first place. Like it was a thing that was figured out over time, and then as he went along, even like down to Nike going public, like where I'm at right now in the book, he didn't want to take Nike public. Nobody in the company did, because it was going to ruin the culture. Mm-hmm. But it got to a point where I think they owed a certain amount of money to the government, it was a case. Yeah, they had to figure out a way to do that funding, and it's just it's cool seeing all like the setbacks and all the decisions that were made.
Mad. All right, save that there. I want to pick that up a little bit later if we have time. So yeah, kicking off into habits. So what I want to talk about today is just generally the breakdown of habits and its importance, why we use it, how we can use it, how we can make it right. So one thing that I would say kind of built my foundation on habits is reading the book Atomic Habits.
Yeah, great. Great book.
Very, very, very good book. So if anybody hasn't seen it, I highly recommend it. And I think one of my biggest takeaways that kind of got me into the whole setup of habits was the guy had this thing, it's talking about a habit scorecard. So essentially, do you know who wrote the book, by the way, by any chance?
Atomic Habits by, I know it. Do you know it? And you're asking
no idea. I'm about to.
I can't remember. No, it's not Robert Greene. It's not
James Clear.
James Clear,
the man himself.
Clear.
So what you talked about was basically making a habit scorecard. So when you're basically starting from the very, very jump, you need to see what you have on your plate right now. So you kind of go through your day. So I remember doing this when I finished my job. Finished graduated uni. I was obviously unemployed for a little bit, and then I got my job at River Island, my warehouse job. Yeah. So I went through like my habit scorecard. So what I realized what I was doing was when I'd wake up, I'd spend 10 minutes on my phone. Then I'd spend 5 minutes laying in bed, deciding should I get out of bed, should I not get out of bed. And then I realized, okay, now it's 6:30 in the morning. Okay, now I need to get out of bed. I get out of bed, brush my teeth, go downstairs, get changed. No, I get changed first, and then I go downstairs, and then I get the bus for work, X, Y, Z. Then I come home. My issue was I was always saying, oh, I don't have enough time to eat breakfast. I don't have enough time to make food, and I can't go to the gym. So then he said, okay, use your habit scorecard to figure out, okay, where do you have time in your day, or where do you have wasted time? So I realized I'm wasting 15 minutes just being on my phone, laying in bed. I'm wasting 20 minutes when I get home where I'm just taking all my clothes off, sitting down, doing nothing. I'm wasting another 30 minutes talking to my family, X, Y, Z,
it's
walking
funny you
around.
say that.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. Yeah, I done a similar thing when I done a breakdown of my week when I was while at uni, and I think I probably started it from before uni, but last time I would have used it was while at uni when we was basically in lockdown where everything was online. Cool. And I needed to get done in a day. I needed to go gym. I need to read a chapter of a book, go gym, update myself on the news on financial markets, do my lectures, do my coursework, and then some days edit, I think it was. And then I had to literally map out, and cook, and cook to eat. So I had to map out exactly how much time in everything, how much time to spend in everything. It's like an hour. Let's say you wake up at 7, or let's say you wake up at 6. Yeah, it's like you wake up at 6. You spend about 30 minutes on your phone to wake up, because I'm not just gonna wake up and then straight read, or open my eyes and straight read. Come on,
I'm half awake.
I'm not taking nothing in. So it's 30 minutes, and then it's an hour to read, and then I had to calculate. Okay, cool. I've got, let's say, half an hour between reading, changing, getting to the gym, get back, got a shower, you need to make breakfast, you need to eat breakfast. It's just calculate out all the time.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So literally the breakdown of the habit scorecard is essentially going through your day and mapping out exactly what you do and be as specific as possible. That's where you get the most benefit, right? And then when you get specific, then you rate, okay, what I do, is this a good habit, bad habit, or neutral habit? And then what kind of, James, what you spoke about was essentially rating, okay, all of the bad things that I would say they're on my scorecard, can I swap them out with something positive? Everything neutral, you leave it as is, and everything positive, it's great. So for example, waking up and brushing your teeth, it's a good habit. Waking up and laying in bed for 5 minutes, is that some people, it's a good habit because it helps them meditate or keep them focused, keep them in that kind of that flow state before they get out of bed. Or some people, because they're just laying in bed, it makes them have to think, okay, should I get out of bed or should I not for another 15 minutes? So it's a bad habit, right? Chance, Exactly. So you calculate, and then you make your own little breakdown of, okay, if I was to make the perfect day, this is what I do. So for myself, what I ended up seeing was that, okay, as soon as I wake up, the first thing I do, I slap on music, like hype music. Even though hype music, first thing in the morning, it's crazy because I'm half asleep, but it's hype music. But the reason why it just wakes me up, right? Yeah. First thing I'm doing, I'm playing hype music, and then what I told myself is I'm gonna listen to one full song. As soon as that song is done, I'm straight out of bed, brush my teeth, brush my hair, I shower, and then 30 minutes later, I'm reading my book for half an hour. Read the book, then I go put my food in my bag, and then I go to work. I come home, and then what did I set up? When I come home, I go straight to the gym. After the gym, I come home, I cook, and then 10-15 minutes of downtime with the family, upstairs, read for an hour, and then I'm going to bed.
How was it the beginning of doing it? Because there's no way you just go from completely unorganized to straight boom, 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 boom.
Cool. So another thing that he talks about in the book is about when you're trying to do a habit, the first thing you can do is do as minimal effort as possible. So for example, when you say that you want to go to the gym 5 times a week, the first thing you do is you go 1 day a week for 3 weeks. And when you go, you just go. You don't have to do anything. No expectation. You don't have to achieve X, Y, Z.
Right. This is the people that are, let's say, starting from nothing. Let's say you've never been to the gym before, or you've always struggled. This
to
is
make
just
a habit. You haven't cooked at home before. You haven't, woken up early at 5 a.m. X, Y, and Z.
Not the people that are actually
experts,
exercise.
Me now. My habits are different.
3 weeks.
You're crazy.
Just going once a week. But me to now next week, bro. It take me 6 years to go to gym every day.
There you go. But for the long term. So for example, how was it when I started? So for example, me trying to go to the gym consistently, where I am now versus when I started in 2022, I said, okay, let me just go to the gym just for a day with no expectations. So even if I go and I don't do anything, I won't feel bad. Okay, I do that for a day. I do that for 2 days. And then by day 3, by week 2, I'm like, rah, this is kind of easy, you know? Let me spend 5 minutes lifting a little bit. Let me do 2 sets. Let me do 3 exercises. Rah, I can do that. And I still have got energy. So let me go twice a week. Let me go 3 times a week. So for example, when I was making my schedule, it was very, very hard for me to wake up at 5 a.m., and then shower straight away and then read my book. So all I said is I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and brush my teeth, and that's it. I can then go back to bed and then get ready for work when I go to work. And then I started to slowly increment them. And the thing is that it's not sexy, setting up these habits. It's not beautiful. It's not exciting, right? But for the long term, I would say it's the most proven method for myself, because I've tried the whole thing about, okay, for 5 weeks straight, I'm going to be consistent, I'm gonna go crazy, but then after the 3rd week, I'm like, nah, I'm tired.
Yeah,
burnout. You see what I mean? So for yourself as well, when you were starting habits, what were the positives and negatives that you kind of saw, if you remember any, if that makes sense?
Positives and negatives, probably being lazy, like waking up in the morning and not being bothered to, do something that's been set out. And like you said, those times where you might set yourself too much to do. Like I remember there might have been a time where I would say that in the morning, I want to read a chapter and go, let's say I wanted to read a chapter, do research on finances, and then go gym. Like that means for me to do that, I need to wake up earlier. I wake up that early and I'm tired by like the second half of the day. So that's where I had to move things around. So that I might say, cool, if I can wake up at 7 and get through the day calm, then but all I can do is, I say, read a chapter and then go straight to the gym, then that works. Whereas before I might have been waking up at, say, like 6:30, and that waking up an hour and a half earlier, it caused burnout, because I remember like literally come Wednesday, I was done. Like I was literally tired. And then the quality was going down on the Thursday of everything I had to do. I wasn't doing as much of my uni work. I wasn't doing as well in the gym, all that stuff. And then Friday being the end of the week, it's like, cool, Friday morning I'll work hard, and then the rest of the day I suck it off because it's a Friday. So just spreading that out and giving yourself as little to do as possible. Like you said, start small, start manageable, good habit, get that consistent, and then work things up as you get comfortable.
I agree with you. And I think the really important thing is to understand is like figuring out which part of the habit is there and what's the purpose of it. So for example, for myself, what I'm trying to achieve is reading 30 minutes every day. So the reading itself is not the habit. The habit is the preparation to get me into the reading. So the habit is, as soon as I wake up, I'm pressing play on my Spotify and listening to a song for 3 minutes, and then getting out of bed to brush my teeth, have a shower, and then I read my book. So everything leading up to me reading up to the book, to being in the most awake state, is the habit, if that makes sense. So as soon as I get out of bed now, it's without thought. I'm pressing play and then I'm relaxing. There's no thought, there's no fight, there's nothing. I'm relaxing. Everything is comfortable. I enjoy it. Once there, then I go and brush my teeth. And then I know that once I'm brushing my teeth, I'm already up. The light is on. I'm wide awake. XYZ, and then I'm going into the shower to then read my book. If that makes sense. So when people are trying to figure out, okay, my habit is I need to. So when people are trying to, for example, set their target is I'm trying to save money and cook at home. So now what you need to figure out is the habit is not cooking at home. The habit is before I leave for work, I've already decided what I want to cook. I've already got the food out. For example, you don't have to have the food out, but for example, the habit would be, okay, every time before I leave for work, I get the pasta there. I put the chicken from the freezer into the fridge. I get the vegetables. I already know exactly what I'm cooking.
You have to make things easier from the jump. Exactly. Even for me, like, because right now, for example, I've started to do meal prep a lot more. And if I don't know what I'm going to make prior to the day that I'm doing it, the evening will come and I can't be bothered. Because now not only do I have to cook, but I have to think about what the hell I want to cook. I cannot be bothered. I cannot. So it's like you have to. I also know what days I need to cook. Let's say I might cook, and then that food is going to last me for 2 days. I know that, cool. Monday I'm cooking. The next day I'm going to be cooking would be the Tuesday night, and then Thursday night, Tuesday night, and then Wednesday night. because lunch,
Back to
dinner.
back. Okay.
Yeah, back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, yeah, back to back. but yeah, it's just kind of planning that out, and yeah, like you said, like knowing what it is that you're going to make prior, because you have to, when trying to build a habit that's outside of like what you normally do, you have to make everything as easy as possible. Everything. Otherwise, the second there's any pushback, you're just not gonna do it.
Let me tell you lot how crazy this is. I think I remember telling Shay, I don't know if I told you this, like 3 or 4 months ago, I remember I used to tell you that I wanted to move out of my house. So obviously I've got shared accommodation right now, and I'm one of those people, I don't like talking to other people, right? So when I'm going to the kitchen, I don't want the thought of somebody walking in and I have to bust convo. Yeah. So I would not go days without eating, but
I remember
days without cooking. I just order meals.
Because you don't want to bump into people.
This is what I'm saying, because any slight inconvenience, right? Yeah. But then I started to realize, okay, if I know exactly what I'm cooking, I figure out what time I'm going to cook, and I know, okay, this is the hotspot of when people aren't going to be into the kitchen. I've kind of overcome that barrier, number one. And then this is kind of like a little sidetrack of, I figured out, okay, if what's more important to me, dealing with this uncomfortable set of people, every time I'm going to cook, or having to spend money on cooking X, Y, and Z.
What's more important?
You see what I mean? So that was kind of a conversation I had to have with myself, number one. But then every time I would go to cook, I wouldn't know what I would cook. Like, it was just the thought of, I'm going to cook X, Y, Z. So I just became a creature of habit. So I have the same exact thing every day, Sunday to Wednesday, when I'm working for lunch and dinner. So now every time I go into the kitchen, I know exactly what I'm making. I know the portions. I know what days I'm cooking, X, Y, and Z. So now I am more consistent with my eating, if that makes sense. But that started off by first figuring out, okay, what do I need to automate? What do I need to do with that thought, if that makes sense? And I feel like doing that, adding that habit into my list, has now made me more consistent with my eating, allowed me to kind of flourish my weight gain, X, Y, and Z. So yeah, I think that, kind of setting up those habits have a benefit for you.
Yeah, I think even adding to that, for example, I used to read a chapter like every day, Monday to Friday, but that's when I had the time. Now I don't have the time to get up in the morning to read, and I know that if I don't read first thing in the morning, I'm not reading, because I just don't like reading. So it's like, I can listen to anything.
Quick one, you don't like reading?
No, I don't like reading. It's so like it's work to me. Reading is work to me. I can listen to anything. Like I literally, like I said, I listen to audiobooks. I'll get through audiobook in a week. Like that's like 8 hours long. But reading now, it's just work to me. I can do it. It's just work. But it's like, so now I haven't got the time in the morning but I still would like to read because it is still good. So I know that let's say Saturday and Sunday, I don't have to get up early in the morning. So Saturday and Sunday is the mornings where I might read. During the week, I'm not just going to now go a whole week without taking in any information. So that's why I've got the audiobooks. Okay. Still, the only time I can really listen to audiobooks is on my way to work, on my way back from work.
Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah. Just remember, what point are you trying to make? Not in a rude way. Like,
so I'm basically saying like how to make a habit, like how to integrate a habit into your day-to-day life.
Cool.
Like cool. depending on your time structure, your time schedule.
Okay.
So it's like just working with the hours that you've got. Like I said, for me, I haven't really got the time to really be listening to audiobook outside of going to work and coming back from work, because anytime outside of that, I'm working. Mad. So what I've done now is I'll listen to those books on the way and on the way back, and now I'm consistently listening to an audiobook every day of the week, and then I'm reading the other days where I'm not at work. So it's just working with your time schedule and making it easier, like we said, for you to pick up a good habit,
for you to integrate it and set it up, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole purpose of it. We're trying to showcase, if you will, the benefits of having a habit. Like, to you, people out there as well, you might not even think that what you have is a habit, but essentially it's just habits are just those things in your life that you just want to automate and do without thought, so you can kind of focus on the things that are more important, right? Yeah. Just getting over those challenges. So obviously, and then in the book, he talked about kind of making the habits more attractive, right? So I think for myself, one thing I have is the biggest habits I struggle with is going to the gym. Going to the gym is the biggest pain in my ass, especially on a Monday, right? So right now I'm in that kind of, let's say, ego phase. So kind of I've been going to the gym. It's a little bit weird, if you will, because I've got this habit in place now. But like, one thing that keeps me going to the gym on a Monday is I tell myself, okay, I need to go to the gym because so many people have seen me improve my body, and I get messages from people.
So if you stop getting that gratification, then you'll stop going.
Yeah. So basically, the reason why I'm going to the gym is to get more gratification, but not necessarily that I need the gratification, but I know that the gratification is a byproduct of the primary reason why I'm going, because I am making myself more attractive to myself.
You basically said that you need the gratification.
Nah, I don't need the gratification.
You just said if you stop getting the messages, then you probably won't go.
Nah, I'll still go, but it's just
harder.
Yeah.
So you would end up stop getting.
but then the thing I've told myself is that there's no way that I wouldn't get the messages anyways, because my body's getting better. So of course I'm gonna get the messages. If you know what I mean.
Wait, so you see when she gets, because I had the similar problem, not the whole gratification side, but not being bothered to go to the gym. When I was going gym literally like 5-6 days a week, and it's like, when you're in the gym, see those days we don't feel like going, when you're in the gym, do you always get a good session?
I hear that. I think it depends. I think I've definitely always had my best sessions when I have no expectations of having a good session, if that makes sense. So whenever I go, I'm like, I'm just tired, so let me just go to the gym, let me just do whatever.
Yeah.
I almost, once I start getting into it, I'm like, nah, this is lit. Let me just keep going.
So once you're there, you're at
once
work.
I'm there, I'm set up. Yeah.
So the technique that I used when I couldn't be bothered to, because there's a lot of times I can't bother to do anything. Just don't think about it. Just go. Like literally, because all you're doing these days, where you can't be bothered, you're talking yourself into not going. Just go. But you need to set that rule to yourself, and that's another rule that I set to myself. I said, because a habit that I was trying to get out of, because I had a really bad habit of, I used to, like, in my head, you know, that whole self-talk, I say to myself all the time, I can't be asked. I say it about everything.
I can't be asked. I say it about
everything.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, anytime I say I can't be asked, I have to do it, because the 99% of the time when I say I can't be asked, it's literally just because I cannot be asked. It's not because there's a reason. So the longer you're thinking about not going, the more you're just talking yourself into not going.
I've got a question for you though, because this is something I went through.
Yeah.
When you tell yourself just go, what makes you end up going? If that makes sense, because I've told myself, okay, so you can't be bothered. Just
the second I say, if the one reason for not going is because I cannot be bothered, I have to go. And it's because I had to be strict to myself with that rule. Like I said, it was with everything.
So I think that's the key though, is the strictness on yourself. That either the strictness, the trust, or the accountability you have to yourself of, if I'm going to, from the fundamental, it's, if I'm going to say that I have a rule to myself, I'm going to stick to it no matter what, irrespective of what else is going on. I have a set of rules, core principles, and values that I'm going to stick to, if that makes sense. And I think that's the really important thing that you have. So for example, for me, like, if you were talking to 2020 CEO and giving me this advice, I'll be like, shut up, if you know what I mean. Because let's say it's,
so what would work for that CEO?
Nothing. He couldn't be handled.
No, there is something. That's the point, because everybody listening, they are those type of people that they're struggling for a reason, because they can't find that answer. So
I think it just comes a point where you've had enough. You know what I mean? So it's almost like this, what we're saying right now. It's, they're gonna listen to it, but they're not gonna act on it. But 3 months down the line or 6 months down the line, shit's gonna go left, and then it's gonna be like, raw, nah, this is rock bottom. And then it's like everything we've been saying then kicks in, if that's what makes sense.
This is what I can say, like, one of my life things I want to do is I want to figure out how to get people to not have to hit rock bottom before making a change. Like that's why I care, because it's easy to, like, you don't want to have to, like, hit the rock bottom or have to be fed up or like, you just had enough before you change. Like just change. But how?
Save that. I want to touch upon that next.
Yeah.
In the next.
But it's something that I want to figure. It's something I'm trying to learn.
Let's chop that up on the next video. Let's chop that up.
Yeah.
Let's chop that up. Yeah, save that. Remember that topic?
Yeah.
I want to chop that up. Anyways, cool.
That hits close to home.
Yeah, because now we can see how you could have saved me before I died.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. Before we shoot off, I just want to give the people some tips on setting up habits. So one of the things that obviously our boy James touched upon is making the habits attractive. So they talk about having a sense of novelty and freshness. James Clear.
Oh, he's just brother to James.
Oh my god! So he talks about having a sense of novelty and freshness allows the brain to stay interested. So it's all good having a habit and trying to automate and be repetitive, but once in a while the body gets bored, right? Or the mind gets bored, and I can't do this anymore. You know what I mean? So you got to add a sense of novelty and spice up. So for example, for myself, little things, tiny things. So for example, on a Monday, I change it from doing back and buys to shoulders and triceps. Yeah. And I found myself changing that every 3 weeks. Also, little things like you've probably found this in the gym as well. Changing what exercises you do every so often kind of makes the gym more interesting or more exciting and more greater willingness to grow.
I'm different.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, this guy's a superhuman. I promise you, he's a superhuman. It's crazy. But yeah, for myself, for myself, like for example, whenever there's a new machine at the gym, all of a sudden, I want to run that up for a couple of weeks. You know what I mean? So yeah, making it more attractive. So for example, dopamine is the hormone that induces motivation and craving, right? So when we're in a sense of anticipation or we're in a sense of excitement, then we get that release of dopamine, which makes us wanting to go. So when that new girl is texting you, and you know what I'm saying, and now you're excited, now you want to text her more. You know what I'm saying? The dopamine has been released. So for example, food, alcohol, sex, and social media induces dopamine. So if you can find a way to either make it exciting or make it novel or integrate those kind of, probably not alcohol into your gym routine, but maybe, I don't know, sex into your new ratio, where every time you go,
I don't need the gym now.
You see what I'm saying? So I recommend those. Another one is also make the habit easy. So this is what we kind of touched upon in regards to, for myself, it's when I wake up, pressing play on Spotify. I don't need to think about that. All I do is I just wake up and press play.
You don't think about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy, but I need to figure out how to get to that, man.
Yeah, it's mad. So what they talk about is repetition leads to neutral adjustment and strength. So essentially, the more you do the same thing repetitively over, the stronger and more secure the thing becomes. So it talks about Hebb's law. So the more consistently you go gym, the more integrated to going gym you are. So a person going to a gym for a week is more likely to stop going to the gym versus somebody that goes to gym for 2 years or 5 years, because now it's ingrained in them.
It's part of their lifestyle.
It's a part of their lifestyle, yeah. So if you try and add those kind of calculations into the way you set your habits, then you'll be all right. So yeah, for example, in plain terms, the first time you do something, you have to think about it. The more you do it, the more automatic and the less thought required. So when you're trying to perform your habit, look to focus on the practice rather than the motion.
True.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
man. Cool. Man. I think that's what I have there for the people. Them. Yeah, man.
I think that's nice. What would be the next phase after patterning habits?
I think at that point then it's the discipline and consistency. I think that was, for myself personally, that was my next transition. That was my 2021 that helped me level up to where I'm now. So first was the habits, set the foundation, and then it's almost like now you run the algorithm, and now you got to be consistent and you got to be disciplined about it. I think that's the next phase. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna hit the people with next. This is gonna come out in February. So kind of for that February-March series, it's all about discipline and consistency. Yeah.
Say no more.
Cool, man. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this podcast.
Make sure you like the video. Drop a comment as well.
Yeah, man. It's been your boy Bongs.
It's been Shay.
Yeah, man. It's been Speak Your Sauce. Peace.